As a short-term rental host, your success or failure is largely determined by the productivity of your listing. In the online digitized world, productivity is measured by your listing's number of views. Very similar to social media algorithms, like the money follows the eyeballs. And the better your listing, the more views you'll get. And with that, you'll get more clicks onto your listing. From there, you'll get more bookings and then more reviews, which as long as they're good reviews, and we'll talk about some tricks for that, will turn into more views. And so starts what I call the virtuous cycle. That is your listing outperforming other hosts on the platform and you make more money, the true end goal. So what are those things that lead to a more productive, high performance listing in the first place? Well, let's look at some examples. I chose these listings because they had tens of thousands of views. And I wanted to show you guys what stands out to this. So if you look at this listing in Bali, Indonesia, it had over 25,000 views last week. And you can see here, they're super host, they've got 100 reviews, and these pictures just really pull you in. And when you click on the pictures, you just see this unique open space, the bamboo. It's got this net that you can hang out on outside. The color pops. It's got mountain views. I mean, all the things that just make a magical stay, and it's all pictured. Then you look at this one. This one is in Manitoba, Canada. And again, that first picture really draws you in. The color, the contrast, the lighting. It's got this dusk photo with the lights on. And again, it's the interest of and the appeal of this listing that really brings you in. Just great design. And this listing got over 10,000 reviews in a week last week. Guys, we're about to get in the goods, and before we do, please hit the like button to tell YouTube that this is a good video and to share it to other people, and please subscribe if you're finding this valuable. Let's get back to the video. So after seeing the examples, can you guess what the difference of these high-performing listings is? If you guess the instant appeal of the cover photo, you're right. A great cover photo on top of being in a really good location appeals to future potential guests and drives views. And I'm going to tell you why in just a minute, but first, it's important to understand that the reason behind it is that Airbnb wants to highlight its most appealing listings to drive bookings on the platform and gain market share to promote its brand image of the marketplace for these Instagram-worthy unique places. Because when people stay in these places, they share their experience either on social media or word of mouth, and it promotes Airbnb's brand and grows their customer base. And if you're on Airbnb or used the platform as a guest recently, you know Airbnb has shifted its platform experience to push more unique spaces by its use of categories. Travelers are now more flexible when and where they book, and access to these premier listings across the world builds brand loyalty with guests, which is the real revenue for Driver in the near and in the long term. And now here it is, the reason why some listings do well when others don't, and how you can take advantage with knowing these items. First, Airbnb uses an interest algorithm. This means that the listings that generate the most interest will rise up in the search results and get all the attention from future potential guests and all the bookings. And the biggest thing that contributes to your listing's interest is the click-through rate. This is how many see your listing in search and then click on it to check it out. From that point, there are additional metrics like hang time and engagement, how long someone spends looking at your listing and clicking through to see all the pictures, the amenities, and the features. But how do you appear in search in the first place and get seen to increase your click-through rate? Airbnb has three big components to its algorithm that determine why one listing is ranked higher and appears in search higher up on the page, with one bonus that has really changed the game for hosts, and I'll tell you how to take advantage of that too. First is price. The price of your listing plays a huge factor in how often you appear on the platform and thus how frequently you get booked. And you don't want to just be priced too high compared to similar listings. Another thing is Airbnb loves when you use smart pricing. They want you to be priced the best because they take a cut of the total payout. And I don't use smart pricing, nor do I normally recommend it because it often ends up lower than the market rate. But if you have a listing that has zero bookings, try turning smart pricing on and set the price higher than the recommended price so you don't get booked too cheap and leave money on the table, and then go into the multi-calendar and put discounts on your dates in that price range where you'll actually get bookings. This will allow you to take control of your price and get the benefit of having the smart price box checked for the algorithm to experience that boost. And also make sure you are competitively priced and using all the discounts available in Airbnb. These are things like the weekly discount, the monthly discount, and the lesser utilized last minute and early bird discounts. Most hosts don't use all those, and if you do, you'll stand out and you'll have better prices and get booked more and make a lot more money. And the second Airbnb algorithm input that you want to focus on is quality. The quality of your listing is measured by your overall property rating, or OPR, and this rating is given by your guests after they stay in your property and give you a review. And this is the lifeblood for you as a host. because if you get bad reviews, that will feed into the algorithm and you'll get seen by less future guests. But also when guests are searching and read reviews and they see that poor review, that's going to feed into their decision to book your place. And I've got a few tips on how you can increase the number of 5-star reviews that you get. My first tip on reviews is about the psychology of the reviewer, your guest. People are 70% more likely to leave a positive review when they're asked to do so. And most people who stay in your property do enjoy their stay, but just forget it, or it doesn't occur to them to leave a review. So if you create an automated message or a message template to send out after checkout to ask your guests for a 5-star review if they enjoyed their stay, they didn't ask them to let you know so you can fix that problem for future guests and earn more future 5-star reviews. And the second is follow up. Even though the act of asking your guests for reviews will increase your reviews, people still get caught up. They're busy traveling, they're on vacation, they're doing other things. And though they might want to leave a review, they could easily forget with everything they have going on. So don't feel bad for following up with them about leaving a review. Let them know it's super important to give other guests the confidence to book, or important as a host to get good reviews. Like, you delivered them a good stay, so you shouldn't feel like you're imposing for asking them for a good review. In either of these messaging sequences above, incorporate a review scale in the message to your guests. Most know that anything less than a 5-star review is really that reviewing guest saying to future guests, don't stay here. But guests don't necessarily know that. Like, imagine if you had a 4.0 out of 5 rating. Like, that would look terrible. Superhost is 4.8 stars out of 5, and that often is the threshold in the booker's mind as an indicator of the quality of the place. Maybe instead of the message, you can also print out a little card and place it in the unit, or a magnet on the fridge. I've seen it done a couple of different ways, and I saw improvements in my business when we incorporated this. And a review that says great stay and then leaves 4 stars is so frustrating, and this step will get you more of those 4s, elevating them to 5s and bringing up your listing rank. And the third determining piece of your listing performance is availability. Availability has a few components. I want to make sure that you're aware of all of them. Essentially, is how many available dates you have on your calendar for guests to book. Like, contributors are length of stay and your booking window, like how far in advance guests can book. Picture a property with a booking window of 1 month and a minimum length of stay of 7 days with a maximum length of 14 days. So people can only book that place in the coming month and are restricted to a 7 to a 14-day stay. Like, you're not going to show up in many searches that way. Now, this is an extreme, but it's pretty frequent that hosts may have a 6-month booking window with a 2-day minimum length of stay to avoid the one-night bookings, and then a maximum length of stay of around 30 days, so they don't risk getting booked for too long in their high season with the length of stay discount. But the effect is the same. You're going to show up in less searches when you're too restricted for when guests can book your place. If you aren't available for those dates, you're not even going to show up in the search. So increase your availability and the number of searches you show up in by lowering your minimum length of a stay and increasing your maximum length of stay and your booking window. And then you can change your pricing to make stays that you don't want, like a 1-day stay, for example, really unappealing, and earn a premium for that stay when it is booked. And finally, the mystery factor to appear in more searches, get more bookings, and make more money on Airbnb is appeal. Appeal of your listing is a combination of your amenities, your listing type, and your photos. Now, to be competitive and get ranked higher, you have to have key amenities on your Airbnb checked. I recently did a scrub of my Airbnb listings and found that certain amenities were not checked for whatever reason. Maybe it was going through too quickly when we set up the listing, or just forgetting to mark them. And once all the checkboxes were checked, I saw a double-digit increase in the views on those listings. So go through and ensure all of your amenities are checked and every possible thing that your listing has is there. And then to go a step further, you can add popular amenities based on your market, like a fire pit or a desk for a dedicated workspace, or even a hot tub. Like, the goal here is to get the best bang for your buck and make sure that your listing stands out to the competition when they're searching and going through the different listings. So Airbnb's algorithm is also advanced enough to scan your photos for the different interest metrics and your amenities. If you've recently made a listing, you've probably seen this. When you add your rooms and spaces on your listing details section, you add photos for each space your listing has, like a bedroom, a living room, or a dining room, and the Airbnb autofills the photos for this section as suggestions. So its algorithm knows what kind of space the photo is for. This is why it's so important to get professional photos taken, including all of your amenities and what makes your listing unique, like string lights and dusk photos with exterior lights are a big attraction on this. So the goal is to stand out and eliminate competition by your uniqueness, like crazy nice professional photos and different angles, maybe even hire models for your photo shoot, or you can be the model yourself. Like some of the most premier listings I've seen recently have had their places staged for guests, like a fire going in the fire pit, floaties in the pool, or models posing to enjoy the space, like the example we saw. And all of these things make the guest picture in their mind's eye using those amenities and being the person in that photo, having a great experience and making an awesome memory. It's like this subconscious emotional triggers like that drive interest, that get clicks and get your listing jacked up in the search results. To see for yourself, go to Airbnb.com without putting in a date or a location in and see what I mean. These are the listings you want to emulate or even one up. So if you guys implement all these things, I guarantee your listing will perform better and you'll make more money. You won't be worrying about Airbnb bust, but instead you'll be comfortable racking in the bookings when other guests are not making these changes, and they are the ones who suffer. But don't let that be you. One thing I'll leave you guys with to find additional areas where your listings can use some improvement is the Insights tab on Airbnb. I want you to go to the Insights tab and click Opportunities in the top left in the navigation bar. This will show you where you have room to make improvements on things like price and quality, availability, and appeal measures that we've talked about. Most of these are explicitly named, and you can use the filters to go through each, and you can also see how you rank to similar listings. Your goal should be to get as many close to 100% as you can on all these factors, and if you do that, you'll see huge improvements in your listings, and your views, and your conversion. So I hope this was helpful for you guys and that you realize that there are levers that you can pull to increase your listing performance and earn more revenue on Airbnb. Like the set it and forget it days for your listing are really over, and it's going to take work on your end to stay on top of search results. But if you subscribe to my channel, I'll keep you informed and keep putting together the information that'll help you guys stay on top as hosts. If you made it this far, please hit the like button, subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything you need to be a profitable short-term rental host, and I'll see you guys next time.